I'm Alejandra Garza, and I went to Texas A&M University, Kingsville from 2011 to 2014. I grew up in Hebbronville, Texas, so just about an hour away from Kingsville. When I was in high school, I really thought I was going to end up at a big university. But ultimately, I chose Kingsville because my brother was there, it was close to home, and in the end, I don't think I realized how much I needed the community that Kingsville offered until I was looking back on my time there. I remember I took my first history course with Dr. Tuller with about 10 students in there, and it was the first half of US history. And I was terrified, so it was the first history course at the college level that I'd ever taken. But also it was one of the most challenging courses that I've ever taken. For the first time, I saw a course that had me thinking outside my own box, rethinking everything that I had learned in high school and middle school, and really being excited about a topic that wasn't even my major. I formally switched majors at the start of my second year, doing history with a teaching cert and a journalism minor, so that I could market myself as a history teacher who could also do yearbook. I really enjoyed that part of my degree where I had my foot in basically 3 different departments across the university, and I really felt that I was understanding journalism on its own and history on its own and education on its own, but bringing them all together for my student observations or my student teaching was really fulfilling for me. So my last semester, while I was doing student teaching, I was also fulfilling the history internship requirement with Dr. Rodriguez through the Journal of South Texas. He was really the first person to sit me down and say, hey, why don't you think about grad school? And I told him, no, I'm gonna be a teacher, that's what I really wanna do. But I went back to him halfway through my student teaching, about a month and a half before all the graduate applications were due, and said, hey, I wanna give grad school a shot. I really, really enjoyed the research that I did while in historical methods with Dr. Tuller. And that was one thing that I really wanted to expand on. And Dr. Rodriguez explained to me that that's what grad school is, that I can go and I can research, and my ultimate dream of turning my methods research paper into a book could be realized through a dissertation and through a PhD program. But I really don't think that I would be where I am professionally and even personally, education-wise, if it wasn't for taking that first history course in Kingsville. If it wasn't for being admitted into Kingsville and choosing that as the place that I was going to get my undergrad, and really enjoying the atmosphere that I had in Kingsville and being able to take the experiences of that into UT Austin. If you would have told me 5 years ago at the beginning of my student teaching that I was going to be a PhD candidate at UT Austin, I would have laughed and said, I don't know what you're talking about. Just a couple of months of being mentored by someone in the history department at TEMUC really changed my entire 5-year plan. Currently, I'm a PhD candidate in the history department at UT Austin, and I'm also the American Historical Association Career Diversity Fellow. When I first came to recruitment at UT, the graduate advisor told us, we know that getting a PhD traditionally means that you're going to be a professor, but UT is really on the cutting edge of something we're calling the malleable PhD, meaning that we're open to other career options for you. And at that time, coming fresh off of student teaching, I knew that I didn't want to go back into the classroom. So coming into a department that was open about career options for PhD holders, I was sold. Now, as Career Diversity Fellow, what that means is that I get to collaborate with 19 other fellows across the US at various universities, and we all get to think the same thing, that we can do more with our PhD. I think that idea of you can do more really stems from being in the history department at TEMUC. I thought that I was going to be a journalism major and work in a newspaper until I took my first history course and thought I can do more. And then switching to history and thinking, well, I'm just going to be a teacher in a classroom, and having a mentor tell me, no, you can do more, you can go to grad school. And then coming to grad school and hearing, hey, you can do more with your PhD, you don't have to be a professor. I really think that all stems from being in the history department at Temuk.